Have you ever felt like you're up against a giant? A problem so big, a challenge so intimidating, it feels completely unbeatable? Maybe it's a career goal that seems out of reach, a personal struggle that feels overwhelming, or a competitor in your field who just seems to have all the advantages. We all face giants in our lives. The question is, what do we do when we're standing in their shadow? Today, we're diving into one of the most iconic underdog stories of all time, David and Goliath. And I promise you, this isn't just an ancient tale. It's a powerful, timeless blueprint for overcoming the impossible giants in our own lives. Most of us know the basic story, right? There's this huge, fearsome warrior, Goliath, decked out in bronze armor, carrying a spear the size of a weaver's beam. He's the champion of the Philistine army, and for 40 days, he's been taunting the entire Israelite army, challenging them to send out a single man to fight him. The winner takes all. But everyone, from the common soldier to King Saul himself, is terrified. They see Goliath's size, his armor, his reputation, and they are paralyzed by fear. They see an unbeatable giant. Then along comes David. He's not a soldier. He's a shepherd boy, the youngest of his brothers, sent to the battlefront just to deliver some bread and cheese. When he hears Goliath's taunts and sees the fear in the eyes of the Israelite soldiers, he doesn't react the same way. He asks, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" This is our first major lesson. The way you frame your giant matters. Everyone else saw Goliath as an unstoppable warrior. David saw him as someone defying something much bigger than himself. He didn't focus on the size of the giant. He focused on the size of his own conviction and faith. When you face your giant, what's your internal monologue? Are you listing all the reasons you're going to fail? Or are you reframing the problem? Instead of "this project is too big for me," try, "this is a great opportunity to learn and grow." Instead of "my competitor is too established," try, "what unique value can I offer that they can't?" Perspective is everything. It's the lens through which you view your reality, and David's lens was one of faith and purpose, not fear. Of course, when David volunteers to fight Goliath, everyone thinks he's crazy. His own brother scolds him. King Saul tries to talk him out of it, saying, "You are not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for you are but a youth, and he has been a man of war from his youth." Saul sees a mismatch of experience. He sees a boy versus a seasoned killer. And what does he do? He tries to make David into something he's not. He offers David his own royal armor, a heavy bronze helmet, and a coat of mail. David tries it on, but he can barely move. He says, "I cannot go with these, for I have not tested them." So he takes them off. This is a crucial moment. David refuses to fight the battle on Goliath's terms. He refuses to become a poor imitation of his opponent. Goliath's strength was in traditional warfare-heavy armor, a massive spear, brute force. If David had tried to fight that way, he would have been crushed in seconds. This is our second lesson. Don't fight your giant on their terms. Use your unique strengths. What was David's strength? He was a shepherd. For years he had protected his father's sheep from lions and bears. He didn't do it with a sword and shield. He did it with a sling and a stone. He had spent thousands of hours practicing, developing incredible accuracy and power with a simple, overlooked weapon. The sling wasn't a child's toy. In the hands of an expert, it was a lethal, long-range projectile weapon. While everyone else was focused on Goliath's strengths, David was focused on his own. He knew his skill set. He trusted his preparation. So many of us make this mistake. We see a successful competitor, and we try to copy their every move. We try to wear their armor. We adopt their business model, their marketing style, their personality, but it doesn't fit. It feels awkward and inauthentic because it's not ours. We end up being a second-rate version of them instead of a first-rate version of ourselves. What's your sling? What is the unique skill, the unique perspective, the unconventional tool that you have mastered? Maybe you're not the biggest company, but you're more agile. Maybe you don't have the largest marketing budget, but you're better at building genuine community. Lean into what makes you different. Your unconventional advantage is your greatest weapon against a conventional giant. So David walks out onto the battlefield with no armor, no sword, just his shepherd's staff, his sling, and 5 smooth stones he picked from a stream. When Goliath sees him, he's insulted. Am I a dog that you come to me with sticks? He curses David and promises to feed his flesh to the birds and the beasts. Goliath's confidence comes from his physical appearance, his weapons, his reputation. It's an external confidence. But David's response reveals the source of his confidence. He says, "You come to me with a sword and with a spear and with a javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hand, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel." David's confidence wasn't in himself alone. It was in his purpose. He wasn't fighting for personal glory. He was fighting for a cause bigger than himself. This is our third lesson. Anchor your fight in a powerful why. When your motivation is purely self-serving money, fame, ego, it's brittle. It can shatter at the first sign of real pressure. But when your why is about serving others, about standing for a principle, about fulfilling a purpose, it becomes an unshakable source of strength. This purpose-driven courage allows you to take action even when you're afraid. It transforms fear from a paralyzing force into fuel. David was probably terrified, but his purpose was greater than his fear. Find your purpose, and you will find your courage. And then comes the action. David doesn't hesitate. He doesn't wait for Goliath to close the distance. He runs toward the Philistine. He takes the initiative. While running, he reaches into his bag, takes out a stone, puts it in his sling, and lets it fly. The stone sinks into Goliath's forehead, and the giant falls face first to the ground. David took a calculated risk, executed his skill flawlessly under immense pressure, and turned his opponent's supposed advantage into a fatal weakness. Goliath's heavy armor made him slow and cumbersome. His height made his forehead a perfect exposed target for a projectile from a distance. The very things that made him look intimidating were the things that led to his downfall. The final lesson is this: the giant's greatest strength is often the source of its greatest weakness. Large, established corporations can be slow to innovate. A seemingly perfect opponent might have an oversized ego that makes them careless. An overwhelming problem, when broken down, often has a simple, critical vulnerability. Your job is not to be intimidated by the giant's strength, but to analyze it and find the crack. Find that one point of leverage where your unique skill can make the biggest impact. David didn't have to be stronger than Goliath. He just had to be smarter and more precise. He aimed for the one vulnerable spot and gave it everything he had. So when you face your next giant, remember David. First, reframe the problem. Don't be defined by your fear. Be defined by your purpose. Second, identify and trust your unique strengths. Don't try to wear someone else's armor. Wield your own sling with confidence. Third, anchor yourself in a powerful why that is bigger than yourself. Let that purpose fuel your courage. And finally, analyze the giant's strengths to find their hidden weakness, and then act decisively. The story of David and Goliath isn't about the magic of a slingshot. It's about the power of perspective, the courage of conviction, and the strategy of the underdog. The giants in our lives are not there to defeat us. They are there to show us what we are truly capable of. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, let me know in the comments what giant you're facing. I'd love to hear from you, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content just like this. See you in the next one.